This announcement is for the faculty members who've accompanied the schools. There will be an institution award, Peace Institution Award, that will be given at the end of the day. So a faculty member with 2 Peace Ambassadors should be ready to come and collect the certificate at the end of the function. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the post-lunch session of the International PEACE20 Youth Summit 2023. This afternoon, let us begin with the fourth panel discussion, guided by the wisdom of Dr. George Mathew, Chairman of the Indian Institutes of Social Sciences, New Delhi. Together, we shall unearth insights on the vital nexus between skills, livelihoods, and the economic development of nations, all within the context of the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, let us watch a video about the same. Sir, we now invite you to take the lead here and introduce the team and the panelists for this session.
The most sought for change, brought to all walks of life. The era of e-commerce is
Requesting all the panelists for this session to please come up to the stage.
American? 2 minutes, we'll play the video and start. Okay? We need a 2 minutes late. Yeah. Play the video. Switch off the lights. There's an instruction that we will start after 2 minutes. So.
Virtual technology is becoming the most sought for change, brought to all walks of life. The era of e-commerce is making way for the latest and most convenient m-commerce or metaverse commerce, a virtual universe with avatars for each user, transacting, doing business, walking around, and doing all they can. Axis Global Technology is one of the forerunners in the growing world of virtual technologies. Our team has highly experienced personnel with individual identities in several related fields of development. We are envisioning a fully integrated virtual platform that will be the most advanced form of its kind. Axis Global Technology Metaverse Platform would be a breakthrough in this field. M-commerce can easily be applied in business, real estate, health, education, entertainment, and more. To make transactions much more simpler and profitable, we are collaborating with CAB Platform with new and innovative banking methods we call MBN, Metaverse Banking Network. Monitored by AI and global in functioning, this would be a groundbreaking banking solution for consumers from everywhere. 60 to 65% purchase value increase and doubled savings would be major features of metaverse banking and would open newer opportunities in Axis M-Commerce Platform, bringing the world together, bringing minds together. Think, and think. Thoughts never remain dreams. Think of going to Paris sitting at home. Think of Dubai Mall from your bed. Think of your incomes on your spending. Think of tangibility on intangibles. Think of quality on price on the manufacturers. Think of peace of finance. Think of reality, not dreams. Think of investments without investing. Think of family without an income. Think of shopping without a shop. Think of a world of happiness without travel. Think of heights without fantasy park. This is not a thought, but thinking made as reality. These are not dreams, but touch of presence. At Axis, there are no dreams, but beliefs made real. Our work is not just in virtual tech, but on many people's dreams and ideas. Axis Global Technology is proud to be pioneering one of the biggest movements in m-commerce, bringing the world together, bringing minds together.
Dear friends, we are about 35 minutes late than the scheduled time, and I am very, very happy that all our panelists are here, all the 5 panelists. I was attending this program from yesterday morning, and I must say that it is a very enriching experience. And now we have the theme skills, livelihoods, and economic development. Skills, livelihoods, and economic development. How this issue we can discuss. It has a global perspective, but let us look at our own country. How is the livelihood in our country of 1.4 billion people? How are they living? When we are in Kerala, that is very different. I am living in North India, in Delhi, based in Delhi and traveling around for the last 50 years. I have seen the life of people in the states of UP, Bihar, and Rajasthan, and many other states in North India. Many other parts of India also. Now, where are we going in this condition? Statistically, we get a very different picture, a profile saying this is how things are. But you go to a village and try to live there, then you will realize the thing. Mahatma Gandhi wanted every village to be a place where people can live happily. Our Institute of Social Sciences is focusing on one issue, that is Panchayati Raj, for the last many years. In 1993, we got the 73rd Constitutional Amendment. And from Karnataka, they gave first 20% reservation for women. And today, because of the Panchayati Raj, there is 50% reservation in many states. 50% reservation for women. My dear friends, do you know, because of this Panchayati Raj Act and all the big thinkers and idealists behind it and all, how many elected women have lost their lives in the villages? I have the statistics. It's more than 3,000 women who lost their lives because they contested the election and they belong to a lower caste and the upper caste cannot tolerate it, and on and on. And this process is going on. And in some places, they are not even reported. So, we have to see the situation in which all this issue of economic development, livelihoods, and skills, how it is practiced in India, and how a revolution can happen. And that is a very serious question we have to discuss. And economic development is very important. The social justice movement of the 21st century is based on economic development. And what are we really doing for the villages of India? In Kerala, I have traveled extensively. Every panchayat has a primary health center. Every panchayat has a panchayat bhavan. And when I go there, there is all like a settled, very well organized office. You go to UP, even you go to Karnataka, some places, and many other places, I have gone personally to study this. There is no Panchayati Raj office. Where is Sarpanch? Sarpanch aaya, Sarpanch gaya. He came, he went. Nobody knows where he is. This is a very sad situation which I can go on. But now, if this is the situation, we have to do a lot of work. These ideas we were discussing all these yesterday and today, if we have to implement, and India has to come to the forefront, a lot of work at the base level we have to do. Friends, let me invite Mr. Anil Menon, Head of Training, SB Global Kochi, to speak now. And then we have limited time, and Menon, you would like to speak from there or here?
How would you like to have it? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. As Sir said, my name is Anil Menon. I head the training activities of a company called SB Global based out of Cochin. We have been in the skill development arena for the past 17, 18 years now. And right from the beginning, we have been focusing on empowering the youth, and we have been focusing on employability. Now, I'll take off from where Sir wound up regarding the panchayats. How many of you are aware that there are women plumbers and women masons in Kerala? There are women masons, and they have been trained by us. We have taken and it's not just an ordinary training, but then they've also done work on building a house. The Sneha Veeda program that the Kerala government has, we were actively involved in it. So we have gone right down to the panchayat level. We work with women. And even before the 2015, when the 17 SDGs were actually formalized, we were already into this, right? So as a company, as an organization, we have been into skilling, skill development. Terms like skilling, upskilling, and all that happened after we started the work. Okay, let me just blow my trumpet. Apart from that, what we have been doing is we have been working with youth. Again, let us look at the ground level. We did some training, a career awareness program across 72 government schools in the Idukki parliamentary district, in the Idukki parliamentary constituency about 5 years back, under the aegis of the the MP. 72 schools where 9th standard students were given awareness about various aspects of life and how they can actually make a career for themselves. Our lookout is only just one thing. Even if one person out of this becomes successful enough and clears the civil services exams, imagine how many lives would be impacted by just that one person. Can you imagine? So we have been doing that kind of work right from school children. I do a lot of work with youngsters. I work with college students. I work on employability skills. So I've been using the term employability. So what exactly is employability? Well, employability is, your ability to get a job easily. I'll put it in such simple words. Now the issue is, see, you have the industry, you have the market. You have youngsters, you have the market, you have the industries. Youngsters are looking for jobs. The industry says, we don't have people. Now, why is it that there are so many jobs, yet nobody's ready for it? That is the skill gap, the employability skill gap. And that is something that needs to be addressed as much as possible. Yes, the governments, state and central, have got a lot of programs. Can I have some water? Excuse me. State and central government programs are available, and there's been a lot of work that's been happening across various sectors. Today, all the skill development programs are focused on results on what they will deliver at the workplace, which our traditional educational system is not fully geared up for. So as SB Global, as a company, we have worked with the government sector, we have worked with the private sector, we work with, my colleague Jayanti will also be addressing a lot of these aspects, so I will not get into it. And so if you look at it, as SB Global, we have been covering 3 of the 17 SDGs very clearly right from the beginning. SDG 4. What is SDG 4? Anybody? Sustainable Development Goals. Goal number 4? Quality education and lifelong learning. We have trained professionals who have been working in government and in private organizations. Sure.
Please.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's been a request that people come in one by one, introduce themselves, go back to the seats, and then we'll have the discussion.
Hi, my name is Abhinav Somani, and I work with Access Global Technologies, and I'm also a managing partner at CryptoTax International. That's India's first cryptocurrency tax accounting firm. I'm really excited to share my experience and what our company does. As you guys already saw a video of Access Global Technology, we are working on blockchain technologies being integrated to help solve life problems.
Hi, I'm Divya Thomas. I run a company called Paper Trail, where we, over the last 14 years, have been putting together groups of women and skilling them to make newspaper bags and all kinds of packaging. And we also now consult for companies, helping them to choose sustainable packaging over that which is not. Just in a nutshell.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Jayanti Krishnachandran, heading up Skill Academy of SB Global Educational Resources. We are conducting skill development courses for youth and for women empowerment, and we are skilling them and we are giving them placement assistance too for the last 17 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Check. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I have a simple request. Since we all are from the field of skill development, apart from the faculty members and all the respected dignitaries, I request all the students to get up, please. Please get up, all the students. Please get up, get up, get up. I believe afternoon is not a good time to sit and listen. Am I correct? Yes or no? Yeah, because you just had a heavy lunch. Do me a small favor. Look at the person who is closer to you. Give a beautiful smile, huh? And do me a small favor. Give a pat on your friend's shoulder. Tell your friend, wake up. Yeah, wake up. And remember, the last person who is going to sit among you will get a mic on the stage. 3, 2, 1, huh? Sorry, I know nobody wants to be the last person. Thank you so much. It's just a wake-up call.
Thank you.
I traveled a very long distance to reach here. Okay. So I represent, my name is Mohammed Aikan. Aikan is my family name. I come from a very small family of 25 members. Okay, again, wake-up call. Now, I am representing 33 islands of Lakshadweep. I believe, yeah. So traveling all the way from there by ship, by train, and by car, reaching this event is not an easy job. So a long distance, and this is for all the youngsters who are sitting here. We need to make a change. Okay, apart from what I do, I'm a consultant for the center government. I take training programs on skill development in the 10 islands, on NGOs, students. And when I come back to Kerala, I'm settled in Kerala, I take training programs for NITs, IITs, schools, colleges, FDP programs, for government sectors like Kerala Police Academy. You see, everybody needs skills. Am I correct? Yes or no? Thank you so much. So we'll be having a discussion soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You finished. Okay. Then Divya.
Yes, sir.
May I now invite Divya Thomas, founder, Paper Trail, and social entrepreneur.
Sit down and speak is what they say.
So I just want to give a little brief of where I come from in terms of sustainability and skill development. I want to start with our humble little story. 14 years ago, I went to somebody's house, asked for a cup of, I didn't ask for a cup of tea. I was served a cup of tea without milk, and the lady of the house said, there's no milk because we don't have money, and no money to buy milk. And she, on asking her further, I realized that there's this, this family that didn't know how to make an income. So I started this network of women across Kerala, trained them how to make bags from donated newspaper, and we printed it and sold it and gave the money back to them. But that's a very old story. It's 14 years old. Oh, thank you. Over the last 14 years, we have moved from there to making boxes, making lanterns, all kinds of things with paper as well as with wood. Whatever the customer wants us to make, we figure out how to do it. We train clusters of women across Kerala, and some in Andhra Pradesh also we have done before. And well, that's our story, very short. I had a brain stroke 2 years ago after taking the vaccination, and I realized that I've lost my memory completely. I lost the skill to walk in a straight line, to remember the alphabet, calculations, vocabulary, everything. It took me about 4 to 8 months to recover from it and sort of become like this. And I realized that 14 years of work that I've been putting into Paper Trail could have been gone in an instant with one brain stroke. So I realized that whatever I'm going to do from now on has to be sustainable, not just in terms of being good for the planet, but in terms of running the show must go on without us. So now I pick up units that aren't sustainable, that aren't viable, put in people, processes, design, whatever it takes to be a full-fledged unit with sales economically viable. That's when I say viable, I mean economically viable, and put them on their way. This is what I do now.
Thank you. It's very important that skill development and what's the other one? Livelihoods. According to the local context, what is relevant, it must happen. I think globally that is happening. And unfortunately, South India, it is positive and very encouraging things are happening. But because I have a very, down-to-earth experience in North India, I don't see this at all. There, the trend is migrate to somewhere. Migration, not doing the work in their own areas and livelihoods.
So does it have anything to do with the fact that Kerala has a high literacy?
Yes, literacy and also the social context, the communities living together, neighborhood, all that matters. It is very special, it needs a special study. I have a book, it is Communal Road to a Secular Kerala. We all started with something, but we reached a point, and which globally it is appreciated. May I now invite Mohammed, you will speak now? Or?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. May I now invite Mohammed Ikan, Director Society for Training and Development, Lakshadweep.
Okay, thank you so much. In fact, our topic, the theme was skills, livelihood, and economic development. For the last 17 plus years, I've been contributing myself and my entire team on helping youngsters to build up their skill sets. See, everybody has some sort of skill sets. Now, once I realized, I'm talking to the youth today. You guys are really good at what you do. But when you face this particular thing called interviews, nothing comes out there. So you need somebody to help you out, train you well. If I call one by one on the stage, you'll start trembling because you have the stage fear thing, correct? Yes or no? And some people say, sir, I'm really good at something, but you lack confidence. If you list all these things, the relevance of quality education is gone. Okay, apart from that, if you ask me what kind of contribution I've done to my islanders, see, Minicoy, I don't know whether you know it, Minicoy is one island which is a little far from the rest of the islands. We don't speak Malayalam there. So we are an island where women rule. Trust me, women rule. Now 80% of the people work abroad in merchant navies. And the funniest part is we have to go to the wife's home. It's like when you get married, the ladies are going here. In my place, the guys will be going, and the parents will say, bye-bye. You know what? And that's the kind of power that women have in our islands, okay? The reason is 80% of people stay out. The entire island has to be ruled by the women. So the question is, what do they do in their free time? Then I'm in Kerala for the last 17 plus years. I learned a concept here called Kudumbashiri. Okay, and I felt like a small replica can be designed there. Because we live in a village system, 30 houses row, and each village has 30 houses. So, women can do something great. So the idea came up like this, and slowly me and a team of couple of people, government sector as well as my students, my friends, we started something called self-help groups. But that didn't pick it up really good. Then I came back to Kerala. Again, I studied the concept of Kudumbashi. And trust me, today we have Deepsri. Lakshadweep means Deepsri in Lakshadweep, in the entire Lakshadweep, where they are generating their own income by their own means of and making a livelihood out of it. There are a lot of people who are widows. Look, people don't have anybody to care them. They all started with this particular thing. So I felt somehow like, with right education, with right skill set, we can develop an economy which can bring up great livelihoods in the rural sector. As Sir was saying, like, everything should start from the grassroots level. See, when I come to Kerala, I know that I fly different places, different countries, but we see some developed areas here. Now, I'll tell you one example which I did. For the last 2 and 3 months, I've been training in NIT Calicut, NIT Surathkal, and Trichy for the PhD holders. I felt like it's high time to leave those big brains or the best brains of the India and come down to a rural level. And I was looking for a college, and I went to a college which was little outskirt in Palakkad. And the college is a very old college called VTB. And trust me, in that training program, I found gems of kids who are from the rural area. They're like so good at, if you tell them something, they don't hesitate, they come up. And they're not even reluctant. And I chose one person, and I took him all the way from there, and he's there, sitting there, over there. Because I believe you give the person a platform, the person can get a next level of thought, a thinking. And that's the only reason our kids need something called exposure. And this is what I really want to help out. And I would like to pass on the mic, sir. My part is done.
Now, Jayanti.
Jayanti ma'am, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jayanti, just 1 minute. Now, according to you, according to Muhammad, Kerala has become a model. Am I right? And you traveled around and he found Kerala is a model for the areas where you are working.
Absolutely, because we are very closer to Kerala. For me, like, it's my second home. Thank you.
Thank you. Now,
I have a small question for Mohammed. You said exposure. But another thing that I found is youngsters thrive on challenge. You give them a challenge and they will surprise you so much. You find youngsters, to give you a simple example, I had a 13-year-old girl giving career guidance counseling to mothers in her village. She went to her mother's Kudumbashri unit and she was telling the other mothers on what are the possibilities for their children for further studies. So you give them a challenge, each one of the persons sitting here is going to come out aces.
we'll continue. So may I now invite Ms. Jayanti Krishnachandran to speak.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Dear friends, when we say about skills, knowledge, and imparting all these things into the career, it is something different. So in every professional course or in every skill development course, we used to say that employability skills. The skill force of SB Global Education Resource, we focus on only one point is, you can ask yourself whether you are having that ASK, A-S-K, attitude, skills, and knowledge. My dear friends, we SB Global Skill Force train the youth and women who are coming from below 5 lakh income. These youth are living in a remote coastal area, panchayat area. So these people doesn't know what is a professional or skill they need to develop. We used to conduct some surveys and come to the point that what is the need of the society and the market. The skill development courses conducting under the Skill Academy are conducted. Plumbing, electrical, welding, all these courses we are giving. And we are also giving a placement assistance. In life, we can help, one day we can help everybody by giving 100 rupees, but every day it is not possible. So we are showing them a path, how to earn them, by them, as ma'am told. So the how we are training is that we will provide employability skills training, including the soft skills and the practical and theory of the skill development courses. So we conducted a tailoring course for 35 women who came from rural area of Ernakulam district. So happy to say that those women, they were, after their marriage, they were inside their home for the last 15 to 20 years. After completing their 4 months course, now they have started online business, and we also provided tailoring machine, that sewing machines to them, all the 35 ladies. And some of the ladies, they started earning nearly 5,000 rupees in a day, and in a month. And most of the ladies, they bought that machine, electric machine something, and that they have switched on to this sewing machine with their own money, without the support of their family. So now they are supporting their family, their husband. So this is the way how we try to skill the woman. And taking the youth, BCom, BA, BBA graduates, they are also from the rural area. For them, we used to give this employability training and also certified courses training, and also the placement assistance in some of the MNC companies in Cochin. The next program of our skill force is to that we people can skill ourselves, we can go to some other place, but specially abled kids cannot go anywhere. So we have to help them. We are into that path, and we are going to support them, my dear friends. And we have planned a course, fiber craft plus paper craft plus gem jewelry making, because these students, these specially abled kids may be interested into a particular skill. So we will be supporting them, we'll be supporting them to start a unit, and they will be starting their earning after completing this course by 4 to 5 months. That will be a support for their family also, because most of the parents are coming with their kids, and it is not like we people go to the schools with our kids. That is an entirely different scene, and this is what we are going to support. And also multi-skill training for the women, bamboo fiber craft and banana fiber craft. We will try to develop a product which mix of these both fibers, and because these both fibers are seasonally available. So this will support the ladies to get an employment opportunity in future too. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's very, very interesting. And I think this skill academy should spread to other states also. And that is a big challenge before you. Next time you can tell. Okay. May I now invite Abhinav Sumani. Sumani.
Yeah.
From United States of America.
Right, thank you. So just a quick background about myself. I have done my MBA in finance and accounting, and I went to the US in 2016 when I first learned about cryptocurrency and blockchain. So how many of you guys have invested in cryptocurrency or heard about cryptocurrency and the blockchain space?
2 people.
No, there's a lot of guys at the back.
Oh,
okay, so there's difference between cryptocurrency and the blockchain space, just to give more clarity here. El Salvador was a country that actually adopted Bitcoin as their national currency, and it didn't fly too well with them. The point is economic development, and the development should not be done using cryptocurrency, but rather the blockchain technology. So when I say blockchain technology, you guys saw what Axis is doing with blockchain. At Axis, we're creating meta banking, right? So it's banking for the unbanked. There are certain countries that do not have access to banks. Using the blockchain technology, we are able to to reach those underprivileged or places that do not have such access. Also, we are at Access, we are creating a platform that allows education and healthcare. Now, let me tell you this, when data is stored on the blockchain space, that data cannot be tampered. And, it can be accessible from anywhere in the world using a transaction hash and ID of that currency. So if, using the technology Access is building, that patient, for example, is in a country, can use the same data in any place around the world without having to repeat those tests, which helps to speed up the process. Now, I personally feel that this blockchain technology can be used by governments in accepting fees. Maharashtra government is using it for caste, validation. So I feel that the blockchain industry is the future, and education in the blockchain space is very important. Access is working on building that platform to actually educate people around the blockchain space, and if otherwise. So any sort of industry, you call it, call it dentistry or anything, that information will be available on the Access Edu platform. So that's basically using the blockchain space for the younger generations. And older, actually. Everyone can use the blockchain space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, they all... so please use the mic. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, I have the mic. Because of the very limited time, all our speakers really honored that one, and I am very happy that the main points were given, and it was very thought-provoking. Now, we have a few minutes for response from the audience. 8 minutes. Before we come back to all of you, any questions from the audience, youngsters or others? No. No question.
No, we do have one.
Who?
Right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself. Huh?
Yeah, I'm Anita, and specifically related to blockchain technology, because it's there in everyone's mind. The thing is, basically blockchain technology is supposed to make everything so very secure.
Right.
But we hear a lot of things otherwise, a lot of, especially with regard to cryptocurrency and frauds taking place in that and things like. So we as common citizens are not very sure.
Right.
So can you enlighten us a little bit on that? Or
Sure.
why is it something so secure and so much fraud happening in it?
So
It's kind of contradicting.
Right. So, as I mentioned, cryptocurrency and blockchain are two different things. Right. Blockchain is a technology. Cryptocurrency is kind of like these. Yeah. So cryptocurrency is like a currency, like a company, like it is doing an IPO. As an investor, if I feel the company will do a good job, I will buy the stock. It's as simple as that. Now, the fraud that we have seen in recent times, like exchange houses, Celsius and FTX, these platforms have crashed. I guess that's what you're referring to. And cryptocurrency tokens like Luna has crashed in the past. But again, you have to understand that these are private companies and not regulated. So it's up to the investor whether you have to invest in it or not. But the technology behind it is worthy. Like Bitcoin has a technology and it is an asset that everyone believes in because it has limited supply. But the ease that it brings with its technology will help mankind. There's no SEC guidelines, there's no government regulation that is actually looking at the documentation for cryptocurrencies. So you can expect a fraud. There's no surprise. If you can raise funds being anonymous, then that itself is a red flag according to me. Because if you're trying to raise funds from investors, you have to show a complete disclosure as to what you are, what you're planning to do, and who's your team. But in cryptocurrency, it works otherwise. Which is why, I'm very pro with the blockchain technology itself. It's totally different from the currencies.
Okay. Any other question? Yes, I find that.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Anil Joseph.
Good afternoon.
I understand that you've come all the way from the United States to participate in this function. I think we need to give him a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presence.
Of course.
Can you throw light into how could technology be an enabler for peace and sustainable development?
So I would say for peace, yeah, let me just think about the peace aspect when it comes to blockchain.
Very important. It's a peace summit.
Absolutely.
It's a peace summit.
You know, I would love to say about economic development if I could, but peace, I don't really understand how exactly can a blockchain technology bring peace. Yeah, but it makes things, I feel it makes things a lot easier when it comes to just helping. Okay, you said peace, right? So there's BRICS coming up. That's, you know, an association being created for trade within countries using a particular currency. Those countries have decided that they'll use their own currencies for intra-trade. Now, what if BRICS decides to create a cryptocurrency of their own, which is valued at, you know, based on their own economies, using financial analysts from each country that decide how high or low should their currency be in terms of the BRICS currency value. That can be a part of peace, I feel. Again, it's related to economy because you see, blockchain, crypto, it's all about money. So I would say it's more to do with the economy, but yeah, that's just what I could put together for peace.
Thank you.
So,
Is there space for one more question? See, because we had curated this session with the context of the youth migrating out of Kerala in hordes, right? This is a serious issue, you know, in Kerala. And though we had every other sectoral participation, we actually planned this session to address this aspect of how to create avenues for our youth to engage in the means of production, right? Because a lot of them are actually migrating out of our state, and there are reports coming out that Kerala is going to be an old age home, you know, and this is a huge problem because wealth is getting concentrated in the hands of a few and the rising inequality. So how do we distribute wealth, you know, to the bottom of the pyramid? That's one question. And how can enterprises, and as somebody, you know, here in Kerala, you have done this work, Divya, you know, my question to you is, what can you share from your experience? What insights can you share to our youth? And what potential avenues? You must have seen like so many opportunities, right? What potential avenues can you share from your experience to our youth so that some of them can actually start to pursue these things? Thank you.
Yeah, I'd really like to answer that one because I've been working at grassroots level for the last 14 years. I can tell you, I'm presuming everyone, or at least 99.9% in this hall are Malayalis. And I'm presuming, okay? And you know the Malayali likes his Kerala. The Malayali likes his parota. The Malayali likes his putta. We don't want to go anywhere. We liked, if we had everything we aspired for in this state, we wouldn't go. I can vouch for it because thank you. My husband lives in Dubai, and I am what can I say? I spend a month there, a month here, and when you leave this state and you go there and you get treated like very, very subconsciously like a second-grade citizen, and when I get there, I'll be, you know, I'm very vociferous, and my husband says, "Not in this country. Shh, not in this country. They're listening to everything." I said, "What do you mean by that?" I mean, like in my country, I'm a voice. I'm a vote, I'm important. What I say, it goes, you know? I mean, it's just not flying with me. So I feel, having worked with especially women, if you empower them financially, if you make sure that their baseline in terms of finances are secure, in terms of jobs, and I'm not talking about government giving them jobs and reservation, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about opportunities, I'm talking about ecosystems, which is all happening in Kerala. I work with KSU, Kerala Startup Mission. I've been, in fact, yesterday I had a meeting with them. I was telling them, how come all your money, all our, I said, I don't know how many of you know Malayalam here. Nyan kaashundaki, nyan tax adachu. With my taxpayer money, you fund a whole bunch of startups. What about, I represent also, I'm an organization called WEN, Women Entrepreneur Network. We have 900 women entrepreneurs across Kerala in 5 chapters. And out of which almost 90% are the manufacturing and service sectors. And I'm asking these people, you're taking my taxpayer money, I worked hard for it, I had the idea, I funded it, I paid the tax, you're taking my money, giving it to a whole bunch of tech startups, and where are they now? How many unicorns did you get from them? So yesterday I was asking them, we want more money for the manufacturing sector or for the service sector. So if you just create ecosystems like this, the youth have it in them to grab that baton and run and get what they want. Nobody wants to leave Kerala. We love our toddy, we love our beef and parota.
Thank you. Jayanti, you wanted to speak?
Thank you, sir. Regarding
Violence, not peace.
actually, just now sir asked me that we have to spread the skill academies to different. So I thought that in the next point I'll add that. The Skill Academy has spread its arms to Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu and Kolhapur in Maharashtra and Faridabad. And now we are also extending our arms to Belgaum and Ambattur. So for now we will be having 6 centers. So within 10 years, if the Almighty supports us, SB Global will be able to support the youth and women in across India with all our skill development opportunities and things. Thank you, sir.
Then what else? Anil, you would like to say last word? We'll close it now.
Okay. So you want me to have the first and the last word?
Yes. No. So the last word will come here.
Okay, it goes back to them. Thank you. Okay, so based on what we've been saying and based on your questions, sir, is that, most of these skill development programs is focused on wage employment. We now need to focus on entrepreneurial development. And that is one area that has not been given enough input. We need to focus on that. We need to have more and more youngsters or even older people coming into businesses, and let us try to start manufacturing back in Kerala. Let us, I know you have a, yes, we need to manufacture in Kerala, otherwise how long are you going to sustain yourselves as a service economy? Okay. Right? So manufacturing needs to come, it needs to grow, and we are not talking about a huge multi-million-dollar factory coming up. We can start small and make it a mass movement. It is possible. So I'll stop with that.
I'd like to add to that actually, just 2 minutes, with the available ecosystems and the government actually doing a lot for entrepreneurship, I would like to tell the youth in this room that don't sit back, don't wait for someone to come and make you happily ever after. Keep thinking, keep on thinking, what is it that you want to do? Because there are people, there are systems, there are things out there that you can cash in on. I'm not talking about funding. Note the point, I'm not talking about funding. That isn't really the way to go forward with entrepreneurship. It is about ideas and systems and people. Funding is just a part of your entrepreneurial journey. You can find it, you can do it. I'm doing it, so I can tell you, I'm doing it. I am manufacturing in Kerala. And I can tell you that there's nobody I didn't face any difficulty manufacturing in Kerala, in spite of the politics here. Even if you look at the political parties that are acting as a spoke in the wheel for businesses in Kerala, previously if you ask them to come for a jada or a procession, or everybody will come. Party londengil everybody will come. But now, if they be like, Veedum, Veetukarum, Bharyam, Mollu, Pokun, Cinemayum, Kazhinjitте they are coming. So, which means they are also starting to think, 2 weeks ago, I had one 20-foot container that had to be unloaded at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, I have this one Tamilian truck driver calling and say, Madam, Seekram Vango. I can go, but I can't unload the container myself, right? So I called a couple of people around because the workers, those blue shirt guys weren't around. I called a couple of Chettamare around my office and I said, Chetta, unload. So we were unloading it, and right enough by about 7 o'clock, Took us 2 hours to unload this thing. By 7 o'clock, one of the blue shirt guys passes by and he says, "Appa njangalekka pani ponde." I said, "Ningal avada kandalalle namukku vilikkan pattathullu." And then I was having this conversation with him and I realized that they also want a good life. They also want the car and the TV and the mall and the movie. And they're also looking to that. If you can provide that to all of them, there won't be this draconian, culture where they kill the businesses here. So it's all about, I'll say, entrepreneurship. Small businesses. They'll say one entrepreneur in every, let's say, panchayat, or I'll say every ward.
Thank you. Mohammed.
Yeah, that was a wow. This clap is not enough. That was a wow. Okay. For me, like, I really want to stand a little far from all these talks because when I came here first time, the person who met me was Anil sir, okay? And the way he greeted me, "Oh my goodness, you're from Minico." I was like, wow. Okay, now let me come to the point. I was sent here for a purpose because this is a peace summit. We are supposed to speak peace. So I was thinking while coming back, like from the ship only, like how can I put it across to the youngsters? Let me put it this way, okay? Very simple. Imagine you all are in a ship now. And there are different decks, okay? Now, in the hull, the under part of the hull, there's a little hole which has formed. And the water starts coming inside. What will you do? A lot of students will say, "Sir, we will go to the next deck." And the people on the deck will say, "No, we'll try the other deck." Trust me, we all are in the same ship. Am I correct? Yes or no? Peace is something like that. You can have the best of the education, you can have the best of the entrepreneurship, you can have everything, but end of the day, if you cannot be a good human, good for nothing. Trust me. See, I'll tell you, I come from a land where the crime person is zero, literally zero. In my island, we don't have any criminals, no thieves, no burglars, nobody. You know why? The jail is always open. I'll tell you the reason why. Where will you run? You're surrounded by water. Even if you steal also, where will you run? The question is, and the police don't have any job. The police says, "Let him come, we'll discuss later on." So let me put it this way. Without humanity, peace won't sustain. So I carry a tagline, in whichever program, like basically when I represent online programs as well as for other peace programs, I always say, our world needs more humanity, peace and justice. So if there is no humanity, there is no peace. And there is no peace, there is no justice. That's my tagline. Thank you so much.
Friends, we are coming to the close of this session.
No, I'm waiting for you to give me the permission to close it.
Okay.
So so my last statements, I'd like to say that, again, hats off to everything that we are doing at Axis. To add on to that, Axis is also working with CryptoTax International to make the world's #1 cryptocurrency tax software solution that is not yet existing in the market. That will not only be used for India by the Indian government, but also internationally by all governments, basically. So the point is, dream big because dreams come true, and don't depend on the service industry like Sir just said. Entrepreneurship is required. Give in your best and never underestimate yourself, and maintain peace. To close her at peace.
Okay, so.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, for sure.
One sentence, only one sentence.
My dear youth sitting here, you are all active citizens. So for your professional ability, for your professional skills, you will work. But the same way you have to support your environment, your neighbors, and your friends. That is a service to humanity. Thank you.
Friends and colleagues, let me say this was a very thought-provoking discourse which we had now. And some of these ideas, we have to take it forward. And I hope Abraham Joseph will have similar programs, not only in Kerala, but in North India, East India, and West India. It has to spread. And these ideas will create a new life and a new world. Let us all hope for that and be optimistic, never be pessimistic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for that enriching session. Our day of profound conversations shall culminate with yet another panel discussion that contemplatively explores gender equality and advancement of women and girls. In the capable hands of Ms. Rita Reddy, a gender expert from the United Nations, we shall delve deep into the aspirations and challenges of achieving gender parity and empowerment. Ma'am, we invite you to take the lead here and introduce the theme and the panelists for this session.
And some lights, please. Come, ladies.
Let's be seated.
Hello, everyone. Are you all still awake? Good. This session is on gender equality, and I have some bright and experienced and smart ladies who are going to tell us everything about gender equality. But can anyone tell me what's amiss in this panel? Exactly, gender equality is missing here. So I'm going to invite two young male students who are brave, courageous, and smart to come and join us in this panel. I need two volunteers. I think we need an extra chair. Come. Whoa! Give him a clap. Who's the other brave young man? Come. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please give these two young men a rousing applause. Wonderful, thank you. We are a bit short of time. We have 50 minutes. And I had 4 questions, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down on 2 questions and just ask 2 questions. But before that, let me introduce the panel. We have Sandhya here, who is from the United Nations in New York. She works in the management division. She's also been a youth representative and has worked on gender equality. And we have Sister Patricia, Sister Patricia, who's also worked a lot to empower women, worked on gender equality and the empowerment of women. And we have Sister Alice, who works with the WIN institution, is it? Women Initiative Network Society to empower women. And we have Dr. Bindu. Now, Dr. Bindu also heads an organization. She works with NGOs, a lot of women's organizations, And she's also been to New York as a representative to the Commission on the Status of Women. So she's had a lot of experience with the United Nations on gender equality and empowerment of women. Now, and here we have the two brave young men. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Manu Mohan and I'm second year BSc Zoology student. I'm from Cochin College, Fort Cochin. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Solomon Viju. I'm from Choice School, Tripunithura. I study in grade 11.
Wonderful, bravo. Now, as you know, we're talking about gender equality and women's empowerment. Now, the United Nations realized that in spite of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that women and youth globally were not enjoying equality, equal rights, and equal access to education, resources, skills, and employment. Now, there is this inequality, and Goal 10 is all about reducing inequalities. Now, we are supposed to talk about SDG Goal 5 on gender equality, and SDG Goal 5 actually focuses on two main issues. One is gender-based violence, including child marriage, and the other is on the care economy. Now, this may be, I don't need to explain gender-based violence, sexual violence to anybody, but I think I need to explain what the care economy is all about. You know, many women in some countries, in Malaysia, for instance, where I come from, only 56% of women participate in the labor force. Most of them are engaged in the care economy. They're at home, looking after the elderly, the sick, children with special needs, and taking on other care responsibilities, and they are not paid. Are housewives paid in India? No. Now, globally, there's a recognition that if all these women with their skill sets who are at home go out to work, the government will have to find a way of compensating their absence by either getting domestic workers or nurses to look after the sick and care, or put these people who need care into institutions that will provide the care. The recognition is just beginning to dawn on people that these people, the care workers at home, the housewives, provide and contribute to the nation's income. So there is a movement to try and calculate how much that is, and to include that in the national GDP. The second move is to try and compensate these women or find ways of getting them out into the workforce so that they can contribute their full potential. In Malaysia, just last year, we adopted a law where every housewife who stays at home is going to be paid 600 ringgits a month. This is really revolutionary, and the ILO, the International Labour Organization, has come out with a computation of what the contribution of these care workers are. Now, I think this is something that India could think about, discuss, and move forward. And I think the state of Kerala, which is so advanced, particularly on gender equality, could do. Okay? Now, there are two questions that I'm going to approach today. One is on gender-based violence, and the other is on the care economy, both based on SDG 5. Now, my first question to the panel is, globally, women and youth often face similar challenges and obstacles when wanting to contribute their full potential, energy, and capabilities to sustainable peace and development. Kerala, of course, is an exception. How can women and youth overcome the challenges of physical violence, structural and cultural violence, and the broader social change processes to transform relationships and attitudes into more participatory and inclusive ones. I suggest you take 2 to 3 minutes to answer, and then we will go to the audience for their inputs. Yeah? Is that fair? Okay, please. Who will begin? Sandhya, could you start? Sure. Yeah.
Is everyone awake?
Yeah, so we will go this way, right down.
I'm glad this is the last panel because this is a very important topic. Challenge, emotional, and many other socio-economic challenge. I think the first step is to don't accept it. Do not accept and rebel. It's not always wrong to rebel against what's not acceptable to you, and to be aware what is right and what is not acceptable for you as an individual, rather than what society pushes on you and what is on the rule book, because no one ever knows who's written the rule book. Is it men, women, or somebody who is from the 18th century? You never know. So whatever works for you is your right. And starting from schools, starting from your home, your sisters, your wives, your girlfriends, it depends on how you treat. And during the COVID pandemic, domestic violence by our own dear and near beloved ones were so high that nobody could do anything. The governments were shut except for the basic services. So who do you turn to? You turn to your family, but that's the one that's hurting you. There is no mental health care available during emergency situations. So if you don't speak up, no one will ever. So you are your first line of defense, and you write what is acceptable for you from your dad, from your brother, from your siblings, from your boyfriend, from your husbands, from any man or any woman in the society. So it is you, and you need to be aware of your rights and to speak up for it. Never be shy.
Thank you. Well put.
Taking off from there, I would like to say, there are often times when we are talking to students, and I find that students are not even aware of the gender disparity that is there. There is a tendency as youth to feel, oh, everything is very good in my situation, in my home. But when we scratch the surface little below, we realize that there's so much happening, whether it is outing rights between siblings, whether it's a girl or a boy, the type of privileges that girls get and boys get. It's very easy for boys to be very happy with what the privileges they have, and very often the girls are suffering. So it's difficult for them to give up, isn't it? All the privileges that you enjoy with patriarchy. So we have to challenge these situations. We need to relook. Patriarchy is so ingrained in us that very often we don't even realize that there's something different, that there is another world possible. So rather than just look at the larger situation where we are talking about very big things, we have to look at an attitude change at this ground root level. So even simple things, how much pocket money different girls and boys get, what are the food distribution patterns, small choices, who gets the best of the fruit or the resources within the household, small things like this. Also when we are talking about gender violence, very often I think we talk about rape, we talk about violence against women. The woman is the victim, and she keeps being the victim. The perpetuator goes off scot-free, isn't it? There are two people involved in the act. Why is it that society has decided that the woman is the victim? Who makes us lose our dignity? Why have we reduced our dignity to our sexual bodies? Why are we saying that we are losing this dignity? The man should be losing his dignity. Nothing happens to him. He doesn't even get penalized. After a few years, we are thinking of releasing people who are perpetuating rape and things like that. So why not as a society, as the youth of today and the future of tomorrow, rethink this? Why is a woman raped? What, nothing happens to the man? Have you thought about it? Give it a thought.
Thank you. As I was already introduced as Sister Alice Lucas, working for the women and children in the fisheries sector of Kerala. And I must say that fisheries sector is a very special community, quite different from the community that I am coming from. It is from the central part of Kerala. But as I came to the fishing community, I really experienced, it is 32 years ago, I worked with Ernakulam and Alapi districts I started working with. And I realized that women's condition here are very, very low and very poor, not only with regard to the social but economic, political, religious, in all these areas, they were quite backward. But we have our motto. We started with the motto, women, take up your destiny in your hands and work with your brothers and sisters to build up a human community. That is the motto by which we started our work. And today, as we said, how do you deal with the sexual violence and so bias on women? And when we started working, there was a lot of cases of sexual violence, either on women or on children. But we started picking up the men who already started, the one who is a cause of domestic violence, the women all through together. We started organizing them into groups, and we encircled the houses of the men who really are doing violence to the women, the domestic violence case. But also at the same time, if the children are also molested or, ill-treated, we will also, in our groups, even today, we pick up the person and also started speaking about him. And we have to be very careful. We started speaking to our children, so very careful about this man. So that is how, to a large extent, today we can say that this sort of sexual violence in the coastal belt is very, very few. The incidents are very few. And you must know that it's 30 years ago we started this, and today we have come to a stage where we can say that to a large extent we were able to deal with this problem. And I cannot say that it's 100%. We are free from all these problems, but to a large extent we are freed from this. And because of this organized program, and we are working among 16,000 families with 800 groups. So this is a big asset for us to work among whatever happens. See, all these 16,000 women come together. And in a short time, even especially during the last Manipur case, as soon as we came to know that there is this real inhuman violence that has happened in Manipur, especially the sexual violence, all our women were in the road. And you could see how many processions we have taken up. This is how we deal with the sexual violence in our area, Ernakulam, Alleppey districts where we work.
Thank you for that. Dr. Bindu, could I ask you to perhaps focus also a little more on the broader social change processes that are needed to transform the relationship and attitudes and so on, because it cannot be a blame game on men. It's not just the men alone. Who brings up the men? The mothers. The women raise the men and the boys. And so maybe there's a societal transformation that's needed. If you could please focus on that. Thank you.
Thank you. So I would love to introduce myself further. Apart from the fact that I attended United Nations CSW in the month of March 2023 and met a respected Abraham sir there. And moreover, I'm a principal, I'm a teacher. I'm the principal of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, KMBVM, Kolabudi Munshi Bhavan's Vidya Mandir, Thrissur, Kerala. And from my school, 27 smart leaders have here, along with a wonderful teacher. and my students are listening to me online also. And moreover that I'm proud to say myself that I'm a teacher, I'm a counselor. The fact that I meet the youth every day, hundreds of them, both boys and girls, their problems, the parents. So being in this position, pivotal position, I feel privileged that I can influence, I can affect the lives of many whom I meet every day. So this problem, gender equality, that's the theme of today's panel, this panel. I believe that equality is a myth. And I would love to say a story, because being a teacher, you know, the class begins with a story often. Two people were fighting over something, some food or something. And they want to get the major share, each one of them. So they met a sage there and they asked the sage, could you solve this problem for us? Could you share this among us equally? Then the sage asked, okay, I'm ready to intervene, but should I solve this on behalf of a god or as a human being? Then everybody said, yes, you have to act like God and then equally you have to divide. God is impartial. But what he did, he cut it into two. The half he took. The rest he divided and shared to them. And they were so shocked and they asked, see, we ask you to be God and to share things equally to us. Then he asked them, see, look around. Look around the whole nature and just say whether anything in the world, in the nature, you can say that we are getting equal share. Think about the sun rays, think about the rainfall, think about the air. Nothing is equal to all. So equality is a myth. And as women, see, when I meet the girls, the women who come for counseling, I would tell them like we have certain restrictions. Three restrictions, I'd just say that three. One is due to the biological sex, we have certain restrictions. Due to our body, biological body. Okay. Second one, the gender imposed restrictions, societal imposed restrictions. The last one is the dangerous one, self-imposed restriction. So I believe that most of the time women have become their own enemies. Means they themselves, they think their limiting beliefs. They believe that, see, I can't do that. So coming to the violence aspect and how to teach the boys, you know, in the school, you know, we have to I often tell my parents, what your daughters can do, what your sons can do, teach that to your daughters too. So in the school also, there should be a global curriculum, gender equal curriculum should be there. I'm not thinking from the side of the girls alone. I would love to see from the perspective of men too, the boys too. Boys often and come tell that, ma'am, I have not done anything. The girl has done everything. So everything, the law is with the girl. So the gender equality or discrimination should be stopped. The gap should be filled. For that, both the parties should work together and find the solution. There should be transparency at home, in the institutions, and I believe, I hope that every boys and girls should raise their sound. They should open up and they should be heard in the families, by the parents, by the teachers, by everyone, all the societal members. We are all responsible and to stop this gap.
Yes, it's everyone's responsibility. What do you think?
About talking about the gender equality, I also want you to remind the society. I want to remind the society that there are more than two genders, okay? Like women and men, they are two, okay? And transgenders, and what about them? And I just want to remind you that there are other genders also, okay? And I'm very happy about that, ma'am. What's your name, please? Bindu ma'am. Bindu ma'am gave the word about men also. Okay, that's very equality minded. Okay, I'm appreciating that. And sorry, my accent and my vocabulary is not that experienced. Okay, so please forgive my flaws. And when talking about gender equality, I like to compare my life with what with the topic. Okay, like I come from family that's majority of females. Like there are many, like majority are females in my family. Okay, my mother, I have 3 sisters. Okay, and I am raised by them. Okay, and I think when some aspects of life, I want to thank them. And in some moments, I'm so what can I say? I'm very disappointed that I was raised by them. That's everything has its pros and cons, right? What can I say? Majority of the people are Malayalis, but there are people here. They can't. What can I say? They can't understand in Malayalam. Okay, so that's I'm trying my best, and. Sometimes I'm very proud about that. I'm raised by my mom and my sisters because my father and my mom, they are both professionals. They are government employees. They were very busy about their jobs. And the sisters, my 3 sisters, they raised me. And when when I look at the society and other students that are studying with me in my classroom and the same bench, often they will be talking about what can I say, male chauvinist things in the whole class. Okay, and they are suppressing the woman or the girls in the class, and they act like the women are the gender that like അവർക്ക് രണ്ടാമതൊരു സ്ഥാനം മതി, ദേ ആർ ദ സെക്കൻഡ് ഓപ്ഷൻ, റൈറ്റ്? അങ്ങനെ ഒരു എന്തായിരുന്നു ഒപ്പീനിയനാണ് ലൈക്ക് എൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ്സിലുണ്ടായിരുന്ന ആൺകുട്ടികളും എനിക്കിത് കാണിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്കങ്ങനെ ഒരു മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് മാറിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നു. ലൈക്ക് എൻ്റെ ചേച്ചിമാരാണ് എന്നെ വളർത്തിയത്. സോ എൻ്റെ വീട്ടിൽ നേരെ തിരിച്ചാണ് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ഇപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാട് പേര് പറഞ്ഞു ആൺകുട്ടികൾ അവർക്ക് ഒരുപാട് പ്രിവിലേജസ് ഉണ്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർക്ക് ഇപ്പോൾ ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ 6 മണി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വീട്ടിൽ കയറുന്ന പെൺകുട്ടികളെ കുറിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞു. എൻ്റെ ലൈഫിൽ ഞാൻ കോളേജിൽ ചേരുന്നത് വരെ ഞാൻ 6 മണി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള പുറത്തെ സൊസൈറ്റി ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല. അതാണൊരു സത്യം. കാരണം ആ സമയത്ത് എൻ്റെ ചേച്ചിമാർ അവരെന്നെക്കാട്ടി മൂത്തതാണ്. അവരിപ്പോൾ ലൈക്ക് ദേ ആർ ലോയേഴ്സ് ആൻഡ് ഡോക്ടേഴ്സ്, ദേ ആർ എൽഡർ ദാൻ മീ, ദേ ആർ വർക്കിംഗ് ആൻഡ് ദേ ആർ മേക്കിംഗ് മണി. And I'm still unemployed because I'm a student. Sorry. And what can I say? And when it comes to my home, I have the second priority. Okay, like there's nothing like men or woman or like boy or girl in my house. Like maybe that's the quality of my parents that raised us. Okay, not only me or the sisters. Okay, they are raised us like ടോട്ടലി ഈക്വൽ മൈൻഡഡ്. ആൻഡ് പുറത്തേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങി നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ, സൊസൈറ്റിയിൽ നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ, ലൈക്ക് ഞാൻ മുസ്ലിം മെജോറിറ്റി അങ്ങനെ ഞാൻ പറയുന്നില്ല, പക്ഷേ അങ്ങനത്തെയുള്ള വീടുകൾ ഞാൻ കൂടുതലും കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ഒരു മാരേജ് നടക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദ മെൻ വിൽ ബി ഓൺ ദ ലൈക്ക് മെയിൻ ഡയസ്, ആൻഡ് ദ വുമൻ they are gathered around like a kitchen area or a small area. And my mom, എൻ്റെ അമ്മയും അവരുടെ കൂട്ടത്തിൽ പോകാൻ നിന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ എനിക്കങ്ങോട്ട് വിഷമമായി. ലൈക്ക് ഐ വാസ് വെരി ഡിസപ്പോയിൻറ്റഡ്. എൻ്റെ അമ്മ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ ചേച്ചിമാർ, എനിക്ക് അവരില്ലാതെ പറ്റത്തില്ലായിരുന്നു ആ സമയത്ത്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ അവരുടെ കൂട്ടത്തിൽ പോയിരിക്കാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്നെ ആൾക്കാർ മാറ്റും. നീ ആണാണ്, നീ ഇവിടെ വന്നിരിക്കണം, യു ഷുഡ് സിറ്റ് ഹിയർ ബിക്കോസ് യു ആർ എ മാൻ. ആൻഡ് അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ അവരോട് ചോദിച്ചു, എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് വൈ ദ വുമൻ ആർ സിറ്റിംഗ് ഇൻ ദ കിച്ചൺ പ്ലേസ്, ലൈക്ക് ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി അൺഹൈജീനിക്, ഓക്കെ, ദാറ്റ് പ്ലേസ്, വൈ? അപ്പോൾ അവർ പറഞ്ഞു ബിക്കോസ് ദേ ഓൾറെഡി ഡിസേർവ് ദാറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, അവർക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സ്ഥലമേ അവർ അർഹിക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു മെൻറ്റാലിറ്റി അന്ന് ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു, അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് നോർമൽ. ലൈക്ക് അന്ന് ഞാൻ കുട്ടിയാണ്, എനിക്കൊന്നും അറിയില്ലായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ പിന്നെ സൊസൈറ്റിയിലേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങി കൂടുതൽ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ജെൻഡേഴ്സായിട്ട് മിങ്കിൾ ചെയ്ത് തുടങ്ങിയപ്പോഴത്തേക്കാണ് മനസ്സിലായത് ലൈക്ക് ജെൻഡർ ഇക്വാലിറ്റി ഈസ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ മോസ്റ്റ് prominent things that should be discussed in the society. Okay, and thank you. And thank you.
So, good evening. We're talking about gender equality. It gets confused. You always get confused about it. Equality. What I want to say is that in all aspects of society, gender equality should be practiced. One thing which I always see in Indian societies is that whenever a child does something mischievous, always the mom is blamed. because the mom did not raise the kid properly. I would like to ask them, what is the dad's role there? What is the father figure's role there? Father is not just someone who's there to give birth. Father is someone who should hold the hand of the child and should take him to the right direction all the time. He should be the one who teach him right the wrong. Mom does his part. Dad should do his part also. Not in that part of education. I've seen moms running behind the children, padikimone, exam vararai padikimone. But I've never seen dads put that much amount of effort on their kids, and that sometimes backfires in future because they don't view their dads as a bigger as their role models. They mostly see their moms as their role models, but there are a lot of dads who don't care about their children because of societal pressure, because they think, what if I show my emotion to my child, will I be considered weak by society? What if I cry in front of my child? What if I show my happiness in front of my child? That's why most parents or most dads cannot even appreciate their own child in front of society. They can't hug them. They can't even give them a proper handshake because they think society will consider them as a weak. And all these, these pseudo taboo, all these things should be broken down. And after all, men, women, that's second part. We all are humans. We all have the same blood. We all should be equally considered, irrespective of color, caste, creed, gender, anything. And that's all I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said and well put. It's true. It's a joint partnership, isn't it, between a father and mother bringing up children. And therefore, if we are going to bring about a transformation, then it has to be a joint effort between the two. Now, I'm going to throw the question to the floor, and I'm looking forward to some active participation, particularly from the male students. What do you think? Or have you got any ideas? I'm looking for ideas, how we can transform society on the issue of gender inequality. Yeah? I can't see from here. Oh. Uncle Abraham wants to have an input.
Well, what comes to my mind is, in the school curriculum, it's very important to add on human rights, right from an early age, from the primary school onwards. I think this is very important. So that if we catch the children at an early age, it will still retain in their mind over years. So I do not know in Kerala whether you have human rights included in your curriculum. Maybe you can answer. And also from Malaysia, what is the experience? I would like to know. Thank you.
Sir, I would love to answer for that. Yes, of course, in Kerala, we are having gender checklists. It should be gender biased. So even the textbooks, the curriculum, the textbooks, the teaching methodology in the classroom, participation, everywhere we have to see both the boys and girls are getting equal participation. Even the textbook also, as someone has, the previous panelist has mentioned that, have you ever seen female masons and female plumbers? So that kind of then stereotypes, the stigmas have to be broken. So the textbooks are carefully screened and then only will be taken. And the language of the teachers, very, very important. And the participation of the children, the boys and girls equally in all the activities. And everywhere, see, that all depends upon the leader of the school, the educators, the management. So they consider if it is important, it has to be prioritized, definitely it will be given priority. It is there.
Okay. Can I just say that even in education, there's always been a desegregation. Girls were not encouraged to go into the STEM sector, science, technology, etc. And it's only now that they are beginning to, girls, even women who study engineering, after they are married and have children, they give up. So there is this sort of practice in society that needs to be changed. Can I ask for some male students to put forward your views?
Yeah.
Please.
While we as educationists, we are always interested in education and how that is going to make a difference to gender development. Human development studies have shown that children by the age of 2 and 3 have already internalized gender identities and roles. So it begins right from the womb. You know, when we want to know the gender of the child, we decide the clothes color, whether it's pink or blue. Even the way the nurse handles the baby, the way we treat the babies. You know, when we ask someone, okay, is the baby is born, is it a girl or a boy? We automatically start thinking differently, behaving differently, picking up gifts differently by virtue of the gender. So it's a societal mindset that needs to be worked at, and we need to be very consciously aware of it. It has been so deeply ingrained that we don't even realize it's so automatic. The way we handle a male baby is different from the way we handle a female baby. If a video is shown of a baby and half the population is told that it's a male baby and half the population is told it's a female baby, the way they respond to the same behavior is different by virtue of the gender of the baby. So we need to be aware of how we are responding, how we are treating babies, how we are treating each other, and how we expect each other to behave. So the gender roles are very fixed and established right very early.
So the moral of that contribution is buy yellow bibs and yellow booties and things for babies. Either that or buy pink for boys and blue for girls, whatever. Yes, please.
Okay, sister. I am Celine Mary Joseph. I'm a final year MCOM student of Sacred Heart College, Tevara. And sister, you said that you never heard about the men are getting raped. That doesn't mean that
men are not getting raped.
You said that we only heard about
we don't
women
talk
are
about
getting raped.
men losing their dignity.
Yeah, women are getting raped.
There are definitely men also being raped. Yes, I know.
Yeah, even I am coming from a home where we all are female children. And in my home, we are giving complete freedom. If you want to go, you can go. If you want to come, you can come. If you don't want to go, we need not to. But most of the case, even men are not supposed to cry in front of the public. Men are not supposed to open up what they feel, even up to show up what their emotions are. I personally know many of my male friends who are suffered in pain, who are suffered molestation, who are suffered bad touch from while they are traveling through night, but they can't open up. What is the society may think? Like, hey, you are a man, you have to restrict, or you have to
suppress your emotions.
Yeah, but in our society, that's not about. Even when my brother starts to cry, he's my cousin. When my brother starts to cry, his parents were like, "Arey man, you're an That's not fair. They have taste.
I don't understand Malayalam.
Okay. When a boy is crying, we are not supposed to say, "Don't cry." A man doesn't cry. There is no such thing. We are all human beings. We have tears. We have blood. We have urine. We have all kinds of such things. So even when there is a chance, or when we are supposed to, shed tears, or when we are supposed to pass urine, in our even in the school and colleges also, when we want to change our part or something, we are like, we are not supposed to open up whatever emotion is. What if my male friend heard about I am having periods, or I am having my menstruation right now? Because there is some trauma, so there is some taboos which separates men from women and women from men. We always said about adikkalil ninnu arangathekku. That's not a matter. There's no kitchen to a stage or stage to a kitchen. Kitchen is also a good place to express our talents and all. And also, stage is also a good place to show our talents if we have the true potential, and if we have if our intentions are true and pure. So that's what I wanted to say. There is no such things that men are not supposed to express their emotions and all. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing up this. Just like females are suppressed, males are also suppressed. And I think this suppression of emotions is the worst damage that we have done to males.
Yes,
and we need to change that. So I'm not against it, I'm for it. I'm very much for it.
Okay.
Also, I think we need to take out the taboo associated with menstruation, talk about it in public. Don't make it a taboo topic.
Yes, in my home also, my dad is buying parts for us.
Also, take out the taboo against rape of a woman. Why do we treat women so badly if she is raped? Males will, social pressure on the male is not as much. And I'm not saying it is not traumatic. I'm saying the social stigma or the labeling, even legally, on the female who's raped is dual victimization.
Yes,
The
neither men nor the
perpetuator goes away scot-free. I'm not talking about the victim, I'm talking about the perpetuator. Nothing happens to the perpetuator. He goes away feeling victorious. Why? When he's the one who has started the thing. There are two in the crime, right? So only one gets victimized and re-victimized, the other goes scot-free. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not for males being raped or anything like this. I'm just talking about the social stigma associated with rape, which is more female specific.
I'd just love to give my experience at UN. When I went there in the month of March, 7,000 delegates were there, all women from different countries. So the topic was gender equality and the bridging the gap, digital gap. That was the topic. And there were many side events too. So each room, one topic would be discussed. The problems of widows. In another room, the victims, sexual abuse victims, their problems were discussed. Likewise, 7,000 women from different countries. Throughout 14 days, they discussed over many, many issues. And the last day, Secretary General was there and the youth were also seated there. They were addressing these issues. They were crying and some of them were saying that why this is happening when there is a global conflict. Definitely there is a abuse. Definitely a women abuse. Just take the case of Manipur. So wherever there is a conflict, if there is an earthquake, if there is something happening in a place, definitely there are stories of women, or not only women, the abuse stories. So, and in the end, Secretary General, Honorable Secretary General told that it will take another 500 years, as we heard in the beginning, to talk about equality or stopping this discrimination. So we have to accept the fact that we are living in a patriarchal society and what we can do. So in this platform, we should focus more on what we can do. I am the solution.
Let's begin today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I am the solution, we are the solution. I just wanted to touch on another topic which is very important. That's on leadership of women and youth. If you look at the figures globally, the number of women, men and women, we are like 50% of the population, more or less. It's half and half. You have 49 or 51 in different countries. But if you look at the decision-making processes in your Raj Sabha and your Lok Sabha, what is the percentage of women there? There are more than, let's say, if there are 50% women in the country. Do you know what the representation is? Anyone? It's 14%. Nikhil, who was here earlier, he quickly looked it up and told me. It's 14% in the Raj Sabha and 14% in the Lok Sabha. So where is the equality in terms of decision-making or contribution to policy formulation? And youth, at what age can the youth go into parliament, or what's the age, 21? 21. There are so many young men who are 21 and above who are capable of making decisions, of formulating policies, but where is their presence in parliament, in the decision-making processes, and in the industry, private sector, corporate sector? Where is the presence of young people, youth, and women? It's a very, very small percentage. So when you're talking about equality, leadership is very important. Let me give you 3 examples. In Rwanda, Rwanda went through a genocide. And it is tragic. The country was really completely demolished after the genocide. But today, 59% of the parliament members are women. after the conflict. And in the United Arab Emirates, 53% of the parliament members are women. It's an Arab country. And you know how conservative Arabs are, and you know the status of gender equality in Arab countries, and yet 53% of the parliament in the United Arab Emirates are women. So, change is possible, transformation is possible, and it can happen very rapidly within a decade. Yeah?
Can I respond to that?
Yes, yes. And you know, there are very few countries in the world where they have high levels of women in parliament or even youth. Maybe the average is around 20. But in Finland, of course, it's almost 60%. 60% of parliament are women. That's an exception. So, yeah,
Okay.
please.
Can I continue? Yeah. See, as I speak about the area from where I am coming, the fishing sector, now I can say that after the 30 years of work, about 89 women are now in the local self-administration. That is due to the leadership training programs that we have given. We started giving leadership training programs from the very beginning of our work. And we don't insist on equality of men and women. We always say, in not only insisting that we don't believe in the equality of men and women, it is the complementarity of men and women. There, I mean, it is very easily acceptable in the families as well as in the society. And now, as we started canvassing this after a few years of, say, our work from 5 years, our women are telling us, please do start the kind of organizing work for women, men also, so that we can be together working. How do they recognize the complementarity? And now the complementarity of men and women are more in their homes and in the society. This is what I can say. Also, with the very tedious work that we started, Chellanam, Ernakulam, coastal belt is a Chellanam Panchayat, and I must say that that is the only Panchayat where we have no legal liquor sale, and that is due to the women, not only the women, the youth, the very, competent youth are there, and they were all supporting. And today, I can say after, I think, it is for the last 20 years, we do not have any liquor sale in Chellanam Panchayat. This is a great achievement from the part of the Wind Society and of the Coastal Belt Panchayat.
Thank you, sister. We have 5 more minutes. I'm wondering if there is any contribution from the floor. Just 2 more, and then we need to close.
Good afternoon, dear delegates. My name is Shivadam, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak. I would like to raise 2 points, and this is related to the topic of educational institutions and how it can make a change. Like just my dear friend over there mentioned that he started to understand equality once he started to interact with other genders, right? Yeah, the other genders. Exactly. There's a social stigma around, still persisting even in Kerala, that boys and girls should not sit together. This is something that you should take into consideration, and I strongly believe I can too make a change. And this is the right forum and right people to make the right decision and the change. this current social stigma around a boy can't sit near a girl, even in the bikes they can't sit near. Oh my God, what are you doing? So once this is changed, a large majority of inequality will be taken off. The first point. The second, okay, many respected delegates present here mentioned about women inequalities. I respect their views. But I think in a forum like this, we should also mention about other genders. We should also respect and address all genders. See, I have friends who are transgenders, who got into their transition state once they reached puberty. They felt so uncomfortable to put on the uniform. She was a girl, but then she felt, I'm a guy. And that should be respected too, because gender equality. He felt so uncomfortable to daily come into school putting a skirt on. Okay? So now Kerala government has been working on it and they've implemented gender neutral uniforms. Very good, very big improvement. But then this should be accepted and implemented to almost all institutions. This is necessary to implement gender equality, which includes all genders. And again, I raise these points because I strongly believe even I can make a change, and this is the right forum. Thank you.
Last one, last contribution, then we have to finalize. Is there anyone, or can I conclude?
Hello. Hello, myself Shreya Jesh. I am coming from Siena College at Kochi. I would like to ask, how can we change society? How can we change the mentality of the society? When we start to study, from 1st to 10th standard, we first see the discrimination between the boys and girls. I would like to say that when we remove discrimination between the boys and girls, and we should raise sex education. I would like to recommend that we should raise sex education, not sex discrimination. We only sing sex discrimination. When we go to home, I think that I'm not good at Malayalam. Sorry, I'm not good at English. Sorry.
That's okay. I think we've got your point. You're right. The United Nations is promoting comprehensive sexuality education to start from the primary school itself.
Yes, not from the school itself. First, we start from our home.
Yes,
because
and the home.
I am coming from home because my parents are showing discrimination between me and my brother. For example, I and my brother are from same sports. We are doing sports together, and when he come after the sports school, my parents are giving food to him and telling me to go and work at kitchen. This is the first discrimination I see from parents, and saying that girls should
I
be working
think
kitchen.
can I react to what you said? Okay. And because I think that it is totally dependent on the situation, right? Like not everybody is like what can I say? Can I talk in Malayalam? Can you understand? Are you
okay.
അതായത് ഒരാള് ലൈക്ക് അതായത് നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടിലിപ്പോൾ സോറി ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ജീവിതമായിട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്ത് തന്നെ ഞാൻ പറയാതെ അതായത് എൻ്റെ വീട്ടിൽ ചേച്ചിമാർ വർക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ട് വരുമ്പോൾ ഞാനാണ് പുറത്തുനിന്ന് വരുന്ന ആളെങ്കിൽ അവരെനിക്ക് ഫുഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കി തരും. ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ പുറത്തുനിന്ന് വന്ന ആളാണ്, ഞാൻ എന്ത് ജോലി ചെയ്തു, ഞാൻ എവിടെ പോയി ഒന്നും ഒരു വിഷയമല്ല. ഞാൻ വന്ന് കയറുമ്പോൾ അവിടെ അവർ ഫുഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കി വെച്ചിരിക്കും. സെയിം തിങ് അപ്ലൈസ് ടു മീ. അതായത് അവർ വർക്ക് ചെയ്ത് പുറത്ത് ലേറ്റായിട്ട്, ഇപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ വന്ന് കയറുമ്പോൾ ഒരു 6 മണിയാണെങ്കിൽ അവർ വരുമ്പോൾ ഒരു 8 മണിയായിരിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ ഞാനാണ് ആദ്യം വരുന്നതെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ കുളിച്ചൊക്കെ ഫ്രഷ് ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ എനിക്കുള്ള ഫുഡും അവർക്കുള്ള ഫുഡും ആദ്യം ഉണ്ടാക്കി വെക്കും. ഓക്കെ, അത് ഞങ്ങളുടെ കാര്യത്തിൽ അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല. പക്ഷേ എന്താണ് പറയുക, ഇപ്പോൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നതായിരുന്നു പറയുമ്പോൾ താങ്കളുടെ അനിയനോട് അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ജെൻഡർ ഇക്വാലിറ്റിയുടെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞ് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുക. അനിയനോട് ആദ്യം പറയുക. ഓക്കെ, എൻ്റെ ചേച്ചി പറയും ഞാൻ ആദ്യം ഒന്നും ഫുഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കണോ, ഞാൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കൂല. അങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു എൻ്റെ മെൻറ്റാലിറ്റി. പിന്നെ എൻ്റെ പേരൻസും എൻ്റെ ചേച്ചിമാരും എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞു ഫുഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കണം, ഉണ്ടാക്കിയില്ല നീ പട്ടിണി കിടക്കും. അങ്ങനെ ലൈക്ക് ഞാൻ ഫുഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പഠിച്ചത് തന്നെ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സർവൈവൽ ബേസിസിലാണ്. സോ ആദ്യം അനിയനോട് സംസാരിക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, അവൻ സ്പോർട്സിന് പോകുന്നതെല്ലാം ഓക്കെ തന്നെ, പക്ഷേ തനിക്കും തൻ്റേതായിട്ടുള്ള ക്ഷീണങ്ങളും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ താൻ തൻ്റേതായ വർക്കുകളും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പേരൻസിനോടും പറയുക ഈക്വലായിട്ട് തന്നെ ഫുഡ് എന്താ പറയുക തരാനും. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ആദ്യം സ്വന്തം വീട്ടിൽ സംസാരിക്കുന്നതാണ് ഒന്നാമത്തെ മെയിൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യം. ഓപ്പൺ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ട്രാൻസ്പെറൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കോൺവെർസേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ ഒരുപാട് പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ മാറും തന്നെയാണ് എൻ്റെ ഒരു വിശ്വാസം. ആൻഡ് താങ്ക് യു.
This topic I first discussed in my home, but it's not like same everywhere. They are saying that we should promote boys.
Okay, then things get complicated.
Because I said that education is more
Sorry,
important.
this is a never-ending discussion. You know, gender equality began at the inception of the United Nations, and we are still debating it, 70 years later. It's never going to end, and it's going to take another 300 years. But I think maybe all of you students should send your parents for a course on gender equality.
That's one of the more things.
Okay, maybe we should meet in hello. That might passing girl. We should meet in person to person. Okay, I think we don't have enough time to talk here. And one more thing too. No, this is the problem of the society. What's the problem between a boy and a girl talking? Okay, we just want to discuss about what's the problem. Okay, why are you guys laughing?
Okay, I can't take the microphone away from him. So let us not just stop here. I would like the schools to organize debates on gender equality and let the students speak. This is all suppressed in themselves. You know, you can see the outbursts. It's all suppressed frustration. So please, schools, I would urge all of you to organize gender equality discussions among the students and their parents. I think all of them need, it's an awareness raising session. I think we've run out of time, but just to conclude, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are lots of other areas where discrimination is faced by women and youth in education, employment, skills training, leadership, and so on. I think most of us here are privileged that we've been able to aspire and achieve our dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed dignitaries and cherished souls who have journeyed with us through the fragrant meadows of the International PEACE20 Youth Summit 2023. We stand here on the threshold of this special moment, the closing ceremony. Like petals that gracefully bid adieu from their stem, we gather here to conclude this symphony of unity, inspiration, and shared dreams that have blossomed within the nurturing grounds of the Choice School, Kochi.
As we embrace this juncture, our hearts are uplifted by the thought that every journey, no matter how enchanting, must find its culmination. Weaving together the threads of wisdom, the symphony of this ceremony shall unfurl. We are honored to have with us the Deputy Inspector General N. Ravi, the Chief of the Indian Coast Guard. Like a lighthouse guiding through treacherous waters, his words shall illuminate our way forward, reminding us that as the sea encompasses many currents, so too must peace embrace myriad paths.
Respected Abraham Joseph, Madam Rachel, Shri Thomas, Anil sir, Bindu ma'am here right ahead, Divya ma'am, all the dignitaries sitting here, and the youth, the leaders of tomorrow. First and foremost, it's a great honor and privilege to stand before you all on a well-deserving day of the International Youth Day and participating in the International PEACE20. It is a great honor for me. And a more honor is that United Nations, the unique organization of the world, is having the sessions and enlightening sessions for the youth of today, the leaders. Surely, I'm sure that each and every session was fruitful for the children assembled here. Witnessing the past session, I must admit that it is really a debating session. It can be debated days together, and Bindu Madam nailed it, telling that it is going to take 500 years for the equality to reach. But one more audience from there had brought out about sex education. Children, I must remind you all, 50 years passed in our schooling days or whatever it is, but the sex education, even I had seen in my school days. But it doesn't make change unless each one is ready to accept the change within you all. Each one, like one of the audience here also told that boys and girls should be made to sit together. Yes, of course, it is also one of the valid things. But there is a change which can be made from your willpower within you all. And the boys here admitted that it has to be done at home. Parents have to guide their children. Yes, it is happening, but it requires more interactions with the youth, and it will refine in the days to come. Apart from that, almost 1.9 billion youths are going to attain 15 years of age by 2030. That is the statistics which is being brought out. And youth of this world have a tremendous potential that I don't have to reiterate. You will become the changers for tomorrow, not only in the political forum, economic growth, name it, the technological evolution. Everywhere youth contribution is going to be phenomenal in the days to come. And it is rightly brought out, this forum in this today's session, that with the gathering here who's going to be benefited out of today's session, you must also realize that youth can adapt the changes. You're in that stage where you can adapt changes. As we grow up into the adult, we also carry something beside us, egos. As we go into the job, we have some egos. As we grow up in the society, we have our own egos. That is not there within the children, within the youth. Today, the transformation is possible. And United Nations has always been preaching about equality and diversity. They adore diversity. And this is a platform which is going to give you all a corrective measure, make you all awareness on the challenges you are going to face in the days to come. So I appreciate this forum which has been conducted by the United Nations organization, and a veteran person among us, Dr. Abraham, who has given his lifetime serving the United Nations organization. I'm sure he deserves applause from all the audience here. Not only that, other veterans and leaders are there, and teachers are there, principals are there, which is a light crowd here. Apart from that, children, I want to just put up my opinion. We have been talking about superpower. We have been talking about the country's growth. But as far as I opine is, a system can be changed if every individual, right from the child, right from the senior-most person in politics or senior-most leader, everyone does his job properly. There will be no corruption, there will not be any bribing will not be required in the government organizations if they each and everyone perform their job to the fullest and have that responsibility that they have to contribute to the growth of the society, which is somewhere missing. This day we are looking forward because in my own organization, I've been telling every individual, if you do your part, the leader is only to facilitate the people to do their part of job. So there should be a facilitator in this country and the others, everyone. If child has to study, he has to study. If a job has to be done by a government servant, let him do his part. A teacher should do his part. That means 100% has to be given by every individual. Then we can see change in this own nation. I'm sure about it. Children, this International Youth Day, the theme has been green skills for youth towards sustainable growth. As you all see, green skills as being brought out. The country depends upon the energy resources. Previously, we used to talk about diesel, fossil fuel and all, but every now and then we only term it as energy. The energy requirements comes from the green environment, your solar powers, battery powers, and the other energies which we look forward. The country's future depends upon the energy growth. Each country will have its supremacy if it has its sufficient energy. That means the crude oil which we are taking from the other nations should be stopped, or it might stop in the days to come. So we should be able to sustain with whatever energy resources within the country we have. It can be wind energy, solar energy, or whatever it is. So the theme is very appropriate for this year's International Youth Day. And I would also tell you all, think about it. And as youths, you have to be innovative in your thinking. Out of the box thinking, we term it. You have to think, you have to question certain things. You have to have your own, queries, why this is happening like this, or why it cannot happen like this. Then things will improve. So I will not take much time. Thanks for this opportunity to at least meet you all and share my thoughts. Youth, each one of the youth, I wish you all a very happy International Youth Day. And I'm sure once you all live from here, you are benefited much better than the other citizens. So you all will be the cream of the society in the future. And 2030 is not far away, where we see you all progress to great astronauts, great scientists, technologists, and contribute to the nation. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Let us now lend our ears to the address by Sri Saji Cherian, the Minister of Culture and Youth Affairs. Representing the Government of Kerala, his words shall be akin to raindrops upon the soil, nurturing the seeds of youth, culture, and unity that were sown during our time together.
ആഗോള സമാധാനം ലക്ഷ്യമിട്ടുകൊണ്ട് ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ പീസ് 20 യൂത്ത് സമ്മിറ്റ് ഈ വരുന്ന ഓഗസ്റ്റ് 11 കൊച്ചിയിൽ വെച്ച് നടക്കുകയാണ്. ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു പരിപാടി സംഘടിപ്പിക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്നതിൽ ഞാൻ ഏറെ സന്തോഷിക്കുന്നു. 15 വയസ്സ് മുതൽ 32 വയസ്സ് വരെ പ്രായമുള്ള യുവാക്കളാണ് ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നത്. ഉയരുക, ഉണരുക, ലക്ഷ്യം നേടുന്നത് വരെ പ്രയത്നിക്കുക എന്നതാണ് യുവജനതയോട് സ്വാമി വിവേകാനന്ദൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. യുവാക്കൾ ലോകത്തിൻ്റെ ആകെ സാമ്പത്തിക, സാംസ്കാരിക, സാമൂഹ്യ വികാസത്തിൽ നിർണായക പങ്ക് വഹിക്കുന്നവരാണ്. അവരുടെ കർമ്മശേഷിയും ഊർജ്ജസ്വലതയും ശരിയായ ദിശയിലേക്ക് വഴിതിരിച്ചുവിട്ട് വിനിയോഗിക്കുക എന്നതാണ് ഏറ്റവും പ്രാധാന്യമുള്ള കാര്യം. ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള വലിയൊരു സംരംഭമാണ് ഇൻ്റർനാഷണൽ പീസ് 20 യൂത്ത് സമ്മിറ്റ് എന്നാണ് ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത്. യുവജനകാര്യ വകുപ്പ് മന്ത്രി എന്ന നിലയിൽ ഇതിൻ്റെ വിജയത്തിന് എല്ലാവിധമായ ആശംസകളും ഭാവുകങ്ങളും നേരുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
I'll now be handing over the stage to Miss Afreen Abdul Sattar, and Ria Kurva for the Peace League Institution Awards. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and once again, welcome to the International PEACE20 Youth Summit 2023. Just as flowers thrive in the care of a gardener's hands, these institutions are being awarded with the Peace League Institution Awards for nurturing the ideals of harmony, unity, and understanding among the young minds of our generation. Their dedication and commitment have been the sunlight that has helped these ideals blossom into actions that make a positive difference in the world. Allow me to extend a gracious invitation to Mr. Abraham Joseph, United Nations Chief Socio-Economic Advisor and the Chief Patron of the International PEACE20 Youth Summit 2023, to present the Peace League Institution Awards to organizations that have ceaselessly nurtured the ideals of peace, education, and activism. I request two peace ambassadors from these institutions to come forward and collect their certificates as their names are called. The awardees are the Choice School, Tripunithara; St. Teresa's College, Autonomous, Ernakulam; Sophia College, Autonomous, Mumbai; Bharat Mata, School of Legal Studies, Alava; St. Teresa's College, Autonomous, Ernakulam; Bharat Mata, School of Legal Studies, Alava;
Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. Let me now invite Mr. Paramjeet Singh, IRS, Commissioner of Income Tax and National President, Dharma Bharati Mission India, to present the Peace League Institutions Awards. The awardees are Bharat Mata College, Trikakara. Marian College, Kutikanam. Chinmaya School, Vadutala. Government VJ Higher Secondary School, Vithara, Thiruvananthapuram.
Thank you, sir. Let me now invite Mr. Vikram Bhatia from the United Nations, New York, to present the Peace League Institutions Awards. The awardees are Birla Global University, Bhubaneswar. Siena College of Professional Studies, Edakochi. Amity Global Business School, Kochi. The Cochin College, Kochi.
Thank you, sir. Let me now invite Ms. Sandhya Pachiappan, the UN Secretariat, New York, to present the Peace League Institution Awards. The awardees are Ayappa Institute of Management Studies, Periyameda. Rajagiri College of Management and Applied Sciences, Kakanad. Indian Institute of Arbitration and Mediation, Kochi. Cochin International Airport Limited, Kochi.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me now invite Mr. Ratnesh R., Executive Director of the UN Global Compact India Office, New Delhi, to present the Peace League Institutions Awards. The awardees are Dharma Bharati Mission, Mumbai. Synthite Industries Private Limited. Sri Satya Sai Orphanage Trust, Kerala. And VKV Caterers, Kerala.
Thank you, sir. Let me now invite Mr. Okay. Thank you, sir. Let me now invite Mr. Thomas Verghese, Chairman, IP20 Youth Summit, to present the Peace League Institutions Awards. The awardees are Kochi Cultural Heritage and Tourism Society, Fort Kochi. Kochi Nature Conservation Society, Fort Kochi. Regional Sports Center, Kochi.
Thank you, sir. Let me now invite Mr. Anil Joseph, the Secretary General of the International PEACE20 Youth Summit, to present the Peace League Institution Awards. The awardees are RoboKids STEM Robotics, Edexon International Private Limited,
Thank you, sir. With that, we come to an end of the awards ceremony. Congratulations to all the peace ambassadors.
Excuse me, you would have noticed one very important thing. The people who gave the certificates, they also received the certificates. Did you see that? So the message is, give and you will receive. Thank you.
As we gather here at the International PEACE20 Youth Summit 2023, the world unites under the banner of harmony and compassion. In the spirit of fostering understanding and interconnectedness, we present to you a beautiful rendition of the hymn that encapsulates the very essence of our aspirations and our commitments. Make me a channel of your peace. Guided Before that, we shall now have the vote of thanks presented by the principal of the Choice School Kochi, Ms. Rachel Ignatius.
Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Good evening, distinguished dignitaries, delegates, teachers, and dear students. It has been an absolute honor and privilege to be your host the past 2 days. What a brilliant day of learning, or rather 2 days of learning it has been. A wide round of applause, please, and thanks to all the participants who made this event a brilliant one. We have come to the end of a wonderful session. May this be the beginning of many more blessed programs and bigger ventures. The Choice School is blessed to have had the privilege to host so many dignitaries the past 2 days. Children, just 2 sentences for you. Think and reflect on what you have heard the past 2 days. Mr. Anil, he has been a constant visitor to my office the past 2 weeks. And in one of his conversations, he asked me, what is peace to you, or what brings peace to you? Think about it. To each one of us, it may be something different. And my answer to him was, to me, what brings peace is an attitude of gratitude. And that came straight from my heart, because say to learn thank you to the small things we have, to appreciate the good things we have. Knowingly or unknowingly, we forget to value and nurture what is there around us. Once we begin to see the value and start appreciating and see and say thank you, comes peace automatically within all of us. But that's for me personal. You try reflecting on what peace is to you and what brings peace to you. Please do take back the learning from the sessions you have had the past 2 days. Thank you is a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt from the heart. On behalf of the organizers of the International PEACE20 Youth Summit 2023, let me start this prayer of gratitude straight from my heart. I thank the Lord Almighty for His presence and blessings for making this event a grand one. Our heartfelt gratitude to the royalty, Princess Ashwati Tirunal Gauri Lakshmi Bai of Travancore, and Princess Natasha Dematra of Bali, Indonesia, who took the initiative to grace this occasion with their words of wisdom on peace through their video messages. A very special thank you to our Honorable Governor, His Excellency, Shri Arif Mohammed Khan, for his beautiful and inspiring message. A very special note of gratitude to the UN Secretary General's envoy on youth and the head of the UN Academic Impact for their special messages. To our Minister of Culture and Youth Affairs, Sri Saji Cherian, for his message. Let me thank our patron, distinguished Professor Richard Hay, ex-MP and patron of IP20YS, for his message on peace and for all the support. Our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Jose Thomas, Managing Director, Choice Group, for this wonderful opportunity and the unconditional support extended to all of us. I thank Dr. Abraham Joseph, Chief Patron of IP20 Youth Summit, Kochi, and former Chief Socio-Economic Advisor, UN, New York, whose initiative, passion, and drive has borne fruit. Thank you, sir. Special gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Paramjeet Singh, IRS, Commissioner of Income Tax and National President of Dharma Bharati Mission. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to our other distinguished dignitaries who have taken time off their very busy schedules and have traveled far and wide to join us to collaborate and inspire the youth to world peace. Thank you to the most inspirational message by Dr. Swayam Sodha. It was a video message. Thank you to Dr. Swayam Sodha. A very special note of gratitude to DIG N. Ravi, Chief of Indian Coast Guard. Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion. Shri Anand Kumar, he is not here, patron, IP20YS, and founder of Sai Gramam Attingil, our respected panelists and participants from the UN, Ms. Rita Reddy from the United Nations Malaysia, Ms. Sandhya Pachiappan, and Mr. Vikram Bhatia from UN New York, Mr. Ratnesh R., Executive Director from United Nations Global Compact, India Office, New Delhi, Mr. George Matthew, Chairman, Indian Institute of Social Sciences, New Delhi, Dr. Anup, and a big thank you to all the respected and eminent panelists who graced our fantastic sessions today. And to all the moderators whose names I've already mentioned, but let's hear a loud and thumping round of applause for the, what would I say, the most inspiring panel discussions we've had. Children, I'm telling you again, you have been very, very lucky to have been part of this session. Go back to those live videos, listen to it again and again, take your learning from them. To Mr. Thomas Verghese, Chairman, to Mr. Arnold Joseph, Secretary General, to Mr. Jibby Matthew, Project Director, no words to thank you enough for the countless hours you have put together for the success of this event. To all the others who worked behind the scenes, thank you. To the Vice Presidents, the project management team, the coordinators, and the youth leaders, thank you for the unconditional support you have extended behind the scenes. To all the partners and co-sponsors of the event, this event would not have been possible without your unconditional support. The Humanitarian Foundation, UK, India, the Synthite Group, Cochin, VKV Caterers, IIAM Peacegate, Kochi, Sri Satya Sai Gramam Trust, Trivandrum, AXYZ Global Technologies, Dubai, USA and Indus, RoboKids Technologies, Kochi, Edexon, Kochi, Small Enterprise India, Bangalore, Indian edX Energy, UK, Dharma Bharati Mission, Mumbai, Dharna Bharati Trust, Kerala, Kochi Nature Conservation Society and Trust, and last but not the least, the Choice School. To the principals, teachers, and student delegates from all the institutions, you have made the first step to the right direction, and let's work towards a common goal. Thank you for making this summit a successful one. This is only the first step. Remember, we need to build on this and take this on. Children, you are the future. This is your world, your dream, and your voice. Rise and shine. We have been very fortunate enough to have been backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated student committee members and volunteers. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. Children, wherever you are, whether you're listening to me or not, I know you have worked round the clock. Thank you very much. To my team of students, teachers, vice principals, admin team, media team, JT Pack team, cafe team, support staff, and all involved, thank you once again for working round the clock. Although this came to us at short notice, we have done it. Thank you, everyone, and God bless all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. We have one more Peace League Institutions Awards to be given. I request Ms. Rachel Ignatius to present the award. The award goes to Kulapati Munshi Bhavan's Vidya Mandir, Thrissur.
Thank you, ma'am. In the spirit of fostering understanding and interconnectedness, we present to you a beautiful rendition of the hymn that encapsulates the very essence of our aspirations and our commitments. Go light your candle. Guided by the words of Acharya Sachidananda Bharati, let us begin with self. Begin today. Begin small. Let us immerse ourselves in this beauty of the timeless melody, a melody that unites us in our shared quest for a more peaceful and harmonious world.
There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning and some dark and cold. And there is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites a candle and makes his home. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the helpless, confused and torn, and hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the lonely, the tired and worn, and hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Whose hearts are blazing, so let's raise our candles and light up the sky, praying to our Father in the name of Jesus. Make us a beacon in darkest times. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, deceived and poor, and hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your
And now, like a crescendo that marks the culmination of a musical masterpiece, our hearts shall resonate with the notes of Make Me a Channel of Your Peace, this commitment song. Like a chorus of unity shall echo through the corridors of our memories, reminding us that we're all interconnected, harmonizing in the grand symphony of life. I request all you peace ambassadors to please rise and sing along.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Oh, Master, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving of ourselves that we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life. Oh, Master, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the petals of this evening begin to fold, let us not mourn their descent, but rather celebrate the bloom they brought to our collective garden. The winds of change may carry us in different directions, but the essence of peace, unity, and purpose that we have shared here today shall forever remain in the tapestry of our lives.
With gratitude in our hearts and a promise to carry the spirit of this summit forward, we bid adieu to the International PEACE20 Youth Summit 2023 Kochi, carried by the currents of hopes and aspirations. We hope to see you next year in Brazil.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. May this day be a petal in a bouquet of global transformation that we weave together, and the echoes of our endeavors shall resonate for eternity. Thank you.
Hi, this is Lionel Richie. What better time than now to be reminded that today, more than ever, we need to come together as one. On the 35th anniversary of We Are the World, we'll remember what life really is all about and send our love.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family. And the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving.
There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me.
Well, send them your heart so they know that someone cares and their lives will be stronger and free.
As God has shown us by turning stone to bread, and so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world. We are the children.
We are the one to make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
Oh, there's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me.
We get down and out, and there seems no hope at all.
But if you jump